Alright guys, and welcome back to the Armoured Warfare public test server, and today we're having a look at some of the changes that they're bringing out for the new patch, of course, which are some new tanks, some new UI changes, some new upgrades, the bases option, that looks really cool, and we'll come to that at the end. But first off, we're going to have a look at the new tanks that are coming in, starting off with the M41 Walker Bulldog, as you can see here. It's a very, very nice looking tank, isn't it? I have on the lowest settings, of course, because I'm a bit of a screb, and I could put it on medium and high settings, but you'd start to get lower FPS, and I like to have higher FPS. I'm not too fussed about detail, but the tank looks good. That's the thing. 176 damage, 124 penetration. Not bad. It's a tier 2, so that will get the job done. Probably fighting tier 3, tier 4 maybe. It's going to really struggle against those. Damage per minute, it's quite low. Its reload time isn't that good for 176 damage of only about 6 seconds. Camo rating's alright, 0.26. That's a pretty good camo rating going on there. And the hit points of 950. So it's got a good amount of HP at tier 2. It's something that should be reckoned with. It's not got the best armor. Now the armor tab that they've added in now is a bit confusing. I don't understand what this means. Does that mean floor front or lower plate, front plate roof, or turret front, turret roof, sides? I'm really not sure what this means. These don't change anything either. No armor change. There shouldn't be an armor change anyway, because it's a 1 modifier, so I wouldn't expect that to see a change there. But I don't understand the armor bit. I think that needs a bit more work. Hopefully they'll add in the where I can go, oh, boop, 25mm, or boop, whatever that is, I don't know. Hopefully that would be added in. But the tank itself looks like a really capable tier 2. It's a tier 2. No one cares. Let's move up a tier to the tier 3. The XM800T ARSV. It's a very strange looking thing. The first thing I thought was, it looks like it's got a Sheridan chassis. It looks like it. It looks like it's got a bit of a Sheridan bit going on there. But it's not really a Sheridan, is it? That 20mm autocannon isn't really like a 152. Ah, that's where you're wrong. This little 20mm that it's got here. 22 damage, 72 pen, and 4,000 damage per minute. That's good. It does 300 rounds a minute. For 22 damage on 72 pen, this tank will absolutely wreck T62s from the side. Not T72s. It won't do very well against those. And it's very, very small. Look how tiny it is. It also has an amazing camo rating of 0.35. That's really good. The camo rating there means it's just going to be unspottable. And a really good vision range of 440 meters. This thing is going to be a really, really good scout vehicle. Very good scout. And I'm looking forward to it. The AP rounds and that haven't got a proper name yet. XM800T_20_AP short. Sorry, it's a short. A few glitches, a few bugs here and there, but it's not going to be in the real game. It's also got amazing targeting skills. Look at that. Cannon depression of -15, and I guess that's gun elevation of -8. So does that mean it can only aim like down here or something? That should be +8, I think, and -15. I think it could be -8 +15. I'm not too sure about that. It's two negatives. Turret traverse is also absolutely amazing at 42.5 degrees a second. That's basically a 4-second entire traverse time. You can't out-traverse this tank. Seriously, he's just going to turn his turret with you and be like, what up? You're not going to be able to out-traverse it. 4 seconds for a 360 traverse. Is it 360? No, it'll be about 8 seconds, won't it? 8 seconds, sorry. What am I thinking? Nonetheless, 42.5 degrees a second is ridiculously fast. Ow, I punched my microphone boom again. I have 2 big arms. And that's really the XM800. Not too much to talk about, really. It's just a very small tier 3 machine. It's one of the new ones coming into the Wolfie line, as you can see. No bit there. So, what have we looked at? We've looked at the other little guy, the M41. That's the only tank that's been added to Marek's line. But the other tier 2 machine is this little premium guy here, the T92. Now, if you're wondering, oh, should I buy the T92? I don't know what it looks like, or how big is it in game? Well, you can compare it now. So let's take a look. Preview the LAV-150. Oh, the LAV-150 is quite a small tank. Well, we'll preview the T92. Oh, it's a bit wider, but it's much, much lower. This is basically like a modernised T71. The gun depression looks absolutely abysmal on this tank. I can't really check the stats too well. There we go. -9, -9. That makes no sense. So I guess it's what, 9 degrees of gun depression, 9 of elevation. Maybe. It's made of steel, so you get no armor modifier at all. 13 hull, 19 side and 10 rear. And 32 front turret, 19 side and rear. It's not very well armoured at all. It's not meant to be shot at. It's got pretty low damage. It's a tier 2 premium. You're not really expecting much out of a tier 2 premium, are you? 158 damage, 124 penetration, yeah. So it's got a bit less damage than the Bulldog and probably about the same penetration as the Bulldog. Not too much of a surprise, to be honest. Not really anything special. I don't think you're here for these things. It also goes 72 kph. That's quite good. And also they've added in a new light tank ability to these light tanks, unsurprisingly. To a light tank ability on a light tank. Whoa, that's unheard of. Basically what it does is it reduces ground resistance by 50% on all surfaces. Acceleration is increased by 200%, and top speed, I think, was increased by 50% for 5 seconds. So that's going to allow you to get out of sticky situations very, very fast. It's going to be like, oh my god, I don't know what that would be. Like that's like the speed of light, like straight out of there. And it's going to be fun on this thing. This thing's a light tank at tier 2. So you don't know, tier 2 machines aren't particularly the fastest, excluding the LAV-150 and the other tier 2 tanks, they don't count. But this thing is probably going to be a very, very fast little critter, and it's very small as well. So it's going to be a hard one to hit. Well, when you hit, you're just going to blow it to pieces, though. What's the next tank we can look at? Well, let's have a look at the antimatter armor tank. Yes, the BMP-1P with its -1mm of hull and turret armor. I don't understand it at all. That breaks the laws of physics and science in every single aspect. You've got a negative distance, and you've got a negative distance of matter. So that means the matter is now antimatter. So when the shell collides with the antimatter, that technically means that that shell should just disappear. It should cancel with the antimatter, and therefore just disappear into thin air. That's a really good armor. I think the BMP-1P is probably going to be the most well-armored vehicle in the game. Screw you Abrams and screw you Challenger 2. BMP-1P, here we go. Enough of the joking aside, it's just a graphical bug, of just a bit of a bug on the tank, not too much. It'll be fixed by the time it comes out. And the BMP-1P, right then, let's have a look. So we've got the BMP-1. Right, this is the BMP-1. Take note of how much it changes. There's the BMP-1. There's the BMP-2. Oh, yeah. BMP-1P, not the BMP-2. What's different, may you ask? Well, we get an infrared spotlight, I think that one is. Probably something along the lines of that. We get some smoke discharges and an ATGM. We get a spandrel ATGM on this thing. And it's really, really good at tier 4. It's like the BMD-1. I think it is. Yeah, BMD-1. There you go. An 85, 450 damage, 500 penetration. That is very, very, very good at tier 4. And it's a BMP, so it's going to need it. Because that 73mm gun you get is absolutely crap. It's awful. You get the worst gun depression in the world. You've got a tier 3 gun on a tier 4, so all you're fighting now is T-72As. You only fire HE and heat. What more could you want against ERA? Oh, it's going to be so much fun. You know, I'm not looking forward to playing the BMP-1P, except it's got the best armor in the game. Also, for observant ones of you, under the proven status, do you remember when you get 50%, you get a proven status on your vehicle? This now allows you to go and buy your new retrofits, the upgraded retrofits on that vehicle. So we get the Augmented Optics Mark II. Increases our vision range by 6.25% on the Mark II variant, which is what we get from this BMP. Also, after proven, you can research credit injections. What's that? Well, a credit injection for 4,050 RP, if you haven't already guessed, you get 30,000 credits for researching it. Right. So what can we do with that? Well, you can get it twice, so that's 60,000. Just a bit more extra, I guess. You could probably research free XP eventually. You don't know what's going to happen. But that's the proven status. It actually has a function now. It actually has a use. Instead of just going, well done, you've researched 50% of your tank. Now have a badge. It's like, alright, okay, then now you can actually get retrofits and credits out of it. Not bad at all. Extra credits on top, I'm fine with that. Fine with that. Dealers, back to that. What else do we have a look at? Well, we can have a look at the ERC-90 F4, which is a French Tier 5 tank destroyer. The LAV-300 has been moved down a tier in replace for this thing. Now, what does it look like? Well, probably most of you already know what it looks like. It looks really, really cool. The gun is absolutely massive. I think they have one of these at the Duxford the Land Warfare Hall or something. I've seen one of these before. I can't remember where I saw it. And it's a funny looking tank. I keep calling it a tank, but it's really an armoured car with a massive gun. That's basically what this thing is. And it looks good. It looks like it's going to be very, very fast and very powerful. But let's have a look at the actual stats then. Details. So it's got appalling everything, yes. It's got alright camo, 0.25. It's a decent camo, it'll get you through it. 417 meters vision, that's really, really nice. Hit points, 1255, it's fine, no armor whatsoever. It's made of steel, so you get no armor modifier, nothing extra. It is exactly what it says, because the tank is really boxy, except on the turret. With its gun, though, the 90mm F1, firing its stock rounds do 244 damage with 216 pen. Now, that's always been a problem I've seen on these wheeled tank destroyers. Their penetration is always quite low. I haven't actually looked at the upgraded rounds yet, but the actual targeting as well, moving that gun onto the target, is very good. The accuracy spread of just 0.10 degrees, targeting time of 2.8 seconds, that could be better, but it's probably still very good. 6-second reload, that's fine for tier 5, that's very, very good. And a 50 degree per second turret traverse. Sorry, I had like a singular hiccup right there. Ooh. Right then. Well, I want to look at its actually upgraded ammo. Oh my god, it gets quite a lot. You get 63,400 here for the credit injections once you get proven, and the enhanced drive terrain. That's really good. Turret traverse speed is in. Oh my god. So what's that? 50 degrees it gets. That'd be 55. That's about 56 degrees per second it gets if you upgrade the enhanced drive terrain. And even faster if you get the Mark III version, which is about 57.5 degrees a second off the top of my head. And it gets a lot of technology buffs. You get smoke grenades, day-night sights, view range increase. What's that? Target overall accuracy. Provides automatic countermeasures against unlimited anti-tank guided missiles. Cannot be activated more than once per 45 seconds. So it actually gets a ATGM defense. That's really good. At tier 5, an ATGM defense is pretty good. The first time I saw an ATGM defense on a tank was the T90 at tier 8. So a tier 5 with it? Oh, BMP-1P. I thought you were going to be alright. Turns out everything else around you is getting that countermeasure system. Good luck. But credit injections as normal. What's this gun like? So he gets 2 types of rounds here upgraded. 227, 257 damage, 227 pen. The heat, 321 damage, 199 pen. Not bad at all. A firepower retrofit armor, universal, and it doesn't get a technology retrofit. It gets a universal, firepower, and an armor. Okay, then that's fine. That's good enough to get the job done. Let's say that. So the ERC-90, that's fine. That's very, very fine. How fast does it go? 95.5 kilometers per hour. Christ, that thing's fast. That's really good. I don't know if it's going to be able to reach it on a flat, but it will most likely be able to reach 60 or 70 by itself. Going down the hill, you'll probably be able to reach 100. That's quick. BMP-1P, how far do you go? 55. Oh, okay. That's not fun. Whatever tanks are there? What new ones are there we can have a look at? Right. Well, new line split. We'll just go off of the tanks for a second. We have the German MBTs and the American MBT lines here. So what do these get? 12,000 potential damage deflected and 7,000 damage dealt with 50% HP or more. Okay, that's fine. New tank as well. After the OF40 to the Leopard 2AV, you get the Leopard 1A5. So this is basically the Leopard 1 with an improved turret. 79 hull armor compared to the 70 hull armor on the Leopard 1. So it gets 9 extra millimeters over 2 tiers. Oh my god. But the turret armor is much better at 180 millimeters front. Now I don't know if there's spaced armor on front of that, but that's good for a tier 5. You could easily do a little bit of peekaboo tactics, and the good gun depression of the Leopard 1s means that it can do those sort of roll over the hill tactics without having to expose the hull. Because the hull is going to be a weak spot to the Leopard 1, come on. If you're tier 5, you're going to be fighting T-72s, 72As and 80s. They're going to annihilate you with their massive 125 smoothbores, compared to your little 105 rifled. Good luck, Leopard. That's really the main changes to this. Not really anything new. Oh yeah, the XM1, that's what I was thinking. The Abrams prototype. The XM1, let's have a look at you. It doesn't look like an Abrams at all. I don't see how they get how they came out of it with the Abrams. It looks really weird. So it has 255 front hull, 245 front turret armor. Now that's very, very strong for a tier 6. As well as the armor being made of composite. So it gets a plus 1.55 multiplier. That brings the armor into well over 300 millimeters, and that is strong. That's a very, very strong tank. You've got that angled. That is going to be a bit of a problem. The sides are essentially 155 millimeter stick then. So angling this thing is going to be a pain in the ass to kill. I don't know if it's broken or if it's got any wrong things to do with it. All I can say is it's probably going to be a very strong tank, and most likely very mobile at the same time. 72 kph speed limit. That's good, maximum speed. Camouflage is like, I don't know, a nuclear explosion 3 miles away. You can see it with your eyes closed. It's a 0.05 camouflage rating. Its vision could be better, 375 meters. It's not bad, the vision, but it could be better. It gets the job done. The camo rating could be better, come on. You can spot this thing from your spawn. It's awful. Hit points is good as well. 2,000, let's say. 2,000 HP. That's fine. Damage per minute is alright. And the gun is also quite good. 339 damage, 303 pen stock. It will get the job done, but you can't rely on it too much. Because that penetration of 303 is on the below. It's on the average to below average scale. It's not in either. It's sort of in between them. It gets it done, but you are going to have a few frustrating moments when you have to fight those bigger tanks. Well, that's the XM1. Actually, we'll just take a preview of it because it's a very, very weird looking tank. I don't understand how you get from the XM1 to the Abrams. Doesn't look like it at all to me. It looks like an entirely new tank. What is it? It's a very, very strange thing. So that's really the new tanks that have been added. There's a couple of new exclusive tanks they've added, and that's really it. There's nothing really new. The exclusive tanks, of course, are exclusive, and I can't see them here. I don't know if they're going to be early access or alpha rewards. I'm really not sure about that. But the only difference, let's get away from those exclusive tanks before I want to find out more about them, to the Shishkin line, Maroks. He's also split to Eastern and Western European main battle tanks, like Wolfie with her German and American. His ones, instead of going from PT, T54, down T64 splits, we now go to T54, M41 Walker Bulldog. Then you have to research this. You'll get the Eastern Europeans first. You need to basically do the same as before, 7,920 damage with your HP above 50%. Then you unlock the T62, go through there like normal, down to the T90, to the T14 Armata eventually. But for the Western European MBTs, it's potential damage deflected with Marek's vehicles of 60,720. Now I don't know why the damage deflect is this, because that's quite a lot. And I've just read battle 0 of 60,720. Okay, battle like that. Okay. Oh, so that next one's mission. That's the PvE. For a second there, I thought to myself, what for the second one? But that's PvE. You can tell between of the yellow and orange colouring. Alright then, so you need to do 607,200 potential damage deflected with Marek's vehicles in PvE. To be honest, I don't really know why it leads to the Chieftain Mark V then if you need to deflect damage, because the Chieftain doesn't deflect, it just absorbs the shell and takes the damage. That sort of confuses me a little bit. But that's the changes to the Marok line. There's nothing new here. Oh, I can just go all the way up there. Nothing new. T90. I like the T90. Let's just have a quick look. Oh, I love it. Gotta get it. Anyway, back to another massive bit of this patch is the bases feature. So this links very strongly to the strongholds of World of Tanks. But instead of the stronghold or the base going to your entire battalion, it goes to just you. It's like a stronghold for yourself. And I don't think you'll have to defend it. It's just your base. And it gives you small buffs that could probably be improved to quite big ones over time. So let's have a look at my base that I built earlier today. Here we are. So we start off with the garage. The garage is the first building you have. You don't need to build it. It's your stock one. The garage gives us a minus 1% cost to repair. Doesn't sound like a lot, but over time that could save you loads of money. Loads and loads of money. And to upgrade it, we need 200 raw materials. 100 raw materials to build each building. So, 30 minutes to upgrade to level 2. I don't know what the level 2 upgrade does. It doesn't tell you what it does. But it might go to minus 2%. Minus 5% perhaps. I think minus 5 might be a bit too much for something like this. And also the raw materials, I don't know where you get them from. I don't know how many you get if you get them per battle or per PvE. If you get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 raw materials per battle, I'm really not sure. But that's the garage. That's our little garage. Let's move on to our academy. So we get a +1 experience for the commander earned per battle. That's quite helpful. That's really nice. And I hope we'll be able to change these flags. I would have to put like an Ainsley Harriott flag or like my avatar on there or something just to show it's my base. But that's how it's an hour to upgrade. That might go to 2-3%. I'm really not sure. Probably the same over time. But you can really see now that these bases, when you start to upgrade them, they start to become really, really helpful. And go off to the airport now. My airport, minus 1% on equipment cost. That's also really helpful. They're all really helpful upgrades. They're not very much, but they count. That's the key. It's for yourself. It's your base. You build it to how you want for your upgrades. It's a really, really nice feature. I know you could probably upgrade this further to whatever. And I hope when you upgrade them, you get more buildings, more hangars, maybe a plane on the runway or something. I'm not sure. Command center, +1% to free XP earn. That's a really helpful one. I'd have to upgrade the command center very quickly because the free XP, it would be really, really helpful. Garage, we've already looked at that. Helipad, +1% to currency earned. That's also really nice. You could upgrade these. I'm not sure what the ammo, armory, barracks, harbour and parking lot do. You could guess what the barracks and the ammo depot do. Maybe the armory reduces the amount for a retrofit. Ammo depot most likely reduces the ammo cost. Barracks most likely increases XP per your crew member, excluding the commander. That's what it was. The harbour and parking lot, I really don't know what they would do. I don't know. A parking lot. What sort of buffs would a parking lot give you? You get free parking in your own base, or you don't get your car muddy when you turn up to work. I don't know. Recon post, -1% for premium time cost. That's a really helpful one. Upgrading that one would be a really nice one to do as well. Get a lot more premium, well, a lot more inverted commas, depending on what you're buying. That would really impact, if you got that one fully upgraded, that would impact how much you could buy for half a year to a year's premium. Think of like a 5%, 10% discount every time you're buying premium. If you brought 1 week's of premium over and over again 10 times, you get a free week eventually because you've saved 10% each time. That's really, really helpful. So the bases idea is a really nice idea. That's drive out and off you go into your base. You can see it out there. And this patch, guys, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the bases work. How these little tanks like the XM800T ARSV is going to play out. And how the Walker Bulldog and all the new stuff and how people are going to play it. I'm really, really interested in seeing what the game's going to be like now. I think the bases idea was a really good choice on Obsidian's behalf. And I'm happy to be able to get that. that gives you a lot of small buffs that are just going to be really helpful for when you're grinding out your top tiers. So guys, thank you for watching this little preview. It's coming up to, it's just over 25 minutes now of the public test server for the EA4, coming soon to a game or Armored Warfare server near you. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.